morning. Good morning.
So you can begin.
Hello, coach. Nice to meet you here in Lithuania. You came to the club who just came out after Jasikevičius here, after 4 years of Jasikevičius. Does it add more pressure on your shoulders, or is it just business as usual for you as a new coach of Zalgiris?
I think it's. I don't know if it adds. Yeah, probably it does add pressure. It probably adds external pressure um, because coach is a legend, and he's a legend here especially, and probably externally it does add some pressure. Internally now it really doesn't, because I have to focus on what we're doing anyhow and what I'm doing, and we'll have challenges ahead of us. So I cannot really think about it, but I guess externally.
Hello, coach. I guess it helps that you don't speak Lithuanian and you will not understand what media says. But are you one of those coaches who tries to know what media is talking about in those local countries, or do you not go into details of media?
Never went into it too much. Basically for the same reason as I had just told your colleague. I've got to focus on my work, and I've got to focus on the day-to-day work and practice to practice, and if you want to break it down, possession to possession in the basketball game. So I always felt focusing too much on on the word on the street doesn't really help me. Almantas will help me filter some stuff, and he will also obviously inform me about what is happening out there. But again, I cannot lay a huge focus on it.
Can you tell about the process, how Žalgiris approached you, how you reacted, how long did it take to reach the agreement?
So Zalgiris reached out to me, like, I would say 5 weeks ago, and or perhaps 6 weeks ago now, and the process was a recruiting process by them, apparently. So they have their scouts everywhere, and and recruited me, and gathered a lot of information about me and my work, and approached me. Then the willingness from me to, first of all, they asked for an interview, obviously, and I had to interview for the job and prepare the interview within 2 days, and I thought the interview went well, and the presentation went well, and then we kind of pursued the next step of, okay, let's do this now. Until a contract is signed and done, a couple more days pass. Obviously, you have to put some stuff on paper, talk about some things, but nothing complicated at all. It just always takes a little bit. That's normal. And then it was my job to leave the United States as quickly as possible, and come here.
Of course, as you said, Žalgiris approached you, and it was their intention to talk to coaches. But what about you? Did you have any doubts, any worries about coming here?
No, because to be honest, I think if a club like Zalgiris calls, you are not allowed to question. It's an honor having a club like this call. So for me, the only challenge was getting out of the United States and coming here.
Coach, you both worked in Europe before and in the United States at Gigli, coach. What did you take from the American side of basketball, and what you're going to implement to Žalgiris game in terms of American side of basketball?
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that the season for us will be very, very tightly scheduled, right? There are a lot of games with the format of the EuroLeague. there are a lot of games, and there is a similarity between the amount of games and the schedule from a EuroLeague team to an NBA team, and I think that I can really help implementing, practices and scheduling within this schedule, which is not an easy task, because it kind of goes against the European style of practicing, where we usually have time. But as of now, where the schedule is so tight, we do not have time anymore, and you have to figure out how do we still practice, how do we still prepare the team, and I think I've got some experience in that on that level.
Coach, can you share if there was any coach or player that that you talked to before coming here, what to expect?
I mean, it was very like the what to expect was very like everybody said the same. So what everybody said was, and that's things I know obviously. Very high tradition. Very intense and very loyal and strong fan base. Very loud arena due to that fact. So those were the 2 to 3 things that basically everybody said who talked to me.
Comparing to the last season, it seems that this upcoming season, Zalgiris has more muscle in the front court, but in a way it lacks versatility. Maybe can you elaborate on that?
No, I think that could be could be the truth, and I think it's our job to like play through the strength that you just mentioned, and playing through that strength would be using that muscle, and we go from there.
Coach, it's just two of us talking, so obviously coming to a new team, coming from the other side of Atlantic, did you have a chance to watch many Žalgiris games last season, or did you have to play that catch-up game when you were confirmed as a Žalgiris coach?
I always followed the EuroLeague, and I actually also like watched Žalgiris, but obviously I had to play catch-up when the call came, and from that point on, So I've studied our players very very tightly. We've had conversations with the players and video sessions with the players about their skill sets and what we are looking for with them on video, So I feel very comfortable in understanding our players, although we have only practiced, we only had one basketball practice day so far. I feel for the fact that I've only been in the job for a couple weeks. I have an understanding for the players, but I have that understanding for the players due to the catch-up game that I had to do in the last few weeks.
Can you share a bit about those video calls? Was it one-on-one? Was it with more players?
It was everything one-on-one with every player on the team. So I think the first thing was very important, and this was still when I was in the United States, that I got, I talked to everybody on the phone, every player. I thought that's important to just, say hello and connect. And then as I got here, I had to go to quarantine, so I was in the hotel room, and I thought the best way to use this time was to get on Zoom calls, you know. So what we did was we had Zoom calls with every player individually, and these Zoom calls also included a video, you know, of those players. So we actually led conversation about basketball, you know.
Can you also talk about your staff? Is there any roles to be assigned to your assistants?
Yes, very clear roles. So Arne Woltmann is the lead assistant. Um, he came from Germany. He's got EuroLeague experience with Bamberg. I competed against him a lot. I know him from the German national team, so I've got a experienced person, and first and foremost somebody who I trust. Secondly, we've got Efka, who moved up from in the ranks. He was with coach Jaras, and he moved up in the ranks from video coordinator to assistant coach. And then we added Tutis Sabonis from the second team. Tutis is young, also young in his profession, but he brings a quality to be able to get on the court actually and really, like, you know, be physical with the guys in practice in certain scenarios. His strength is working the player development, and so we said we're gonna go that step, and despite perhaps a little bit of, like, you know, a little bit of a lack of experience, we'll use all the other skills that he has, and I like them a lot.
Coach, what was your first impression of Zalgiris locker room spirit? Because it's a clear known fact that Zalgiris has that locker room spirit with Yankee, Milas, and other veteran players.
Yeah, I think you say it correctly. I mean, Yankee and Milas are the elder statesmen of this team, and I think it's very obvious, right? Then we also, you know, we've got Marius as somebody who's, like, really getting into his prime, you know, as an extremely strong player. And I think I don't want to break it down to three people, but, you know, you're talking about this locker room tradition. I think those guys are extremely important for it, and I think they create it. And yeah, you can feel it right away when you come in.
A bit broader question. Is there something you hear about EuroLeague? Is it going to start on time? Is there some chatter about that?
When I talked to the EuroLeague, they said it will start on time and they don't have a backup plan. That's been a couple weeks ago, though, and the last thing I heard was that they're going to have, like, mid-September evaluations and go from there. So I'm sorry to not, you know, I can't be precise because I don't have precise informations, and I do think in these times there sometimes are no precise informations.
Coach, what's your impression of Kaunas city, of facilities here, of Zalgiris?
I think it's beautiful. I mean, first of all, so Kaunas as a city has presented itself really beautifully. The weather has been phenomenal. I'm from Hamburg, Germany, so our weather is similar to Kaunas weather. I know that this is not common. It will not last, unfortunately, but it's really been beautiful these couple days with the blue sky and the warm weather, and really presented itself beautifully. Like, you know, the city center and then the old town is phenomenal. So, and that's also what I had heard. Like, a lot of people had said that, and, you know, it's been really nice. I've been, like, going by car around a little bit also in the, like, you know, going around the city, so not only on foot but also by car. And no, it's really nice. I think I've got, like, a decent feel for the city, you know, as far as you can talk about a feel for a city after, like, 11 days or 12 days here. The facility obviously is extremely good. You know, we have everything we need. We have everything we need in a very compact form, meaning that for practice in a compact form, weights, offices, practice facility, but also in a compact form where as the games start, we are in the arena. And then if you're talking about this like kind of compact format, also the city is like a, I think it's big enough, but it's a small city, right? Like it's a city and you get the feeling of a city, but at the same time, moving around is pretty fast. And I think that will save time, as the season evolves. We all know how difficult it is if we like live far away from our workspace, then it always eats up time, going back and forth from practice or from work, right? Whatever your profession is, I'm happy that the setup is like it is.
Coach, coming from NBA world, NBA playoffs are starting tonight. Can you share some insights? What do you expect out of it?
No, I really cannot. I can only say that the Utah Jazz are obviously my team. So, that's like talking about NBA in general, They're my team. I've been there for 3 years, so, I identify over there with that club. And other than that, to be very honest, I cannot, because I have not been following. Like, I have not been following at all, to be honest. I've only been hearing a little bit. I haven't seen anything. I just, to be very honest, haven't had the time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.